Aloha everyone, my name is Pacha and welcome back to the second episode or the second video focusing on the new animals of the Oceania Pack, which released when you're watching this video on release day. The Oceania Pack released last week. Wow, it already feels like it released quite a bit earlier than that. But we are, of course, back in our special build video here, building, as I said, for the next of the new 5 animals, 4 habitat animals, 1 exhibit animals. And today, as you have already probably guessed from the intro and the thumbnail, we are building for the adorable little QUOKKA. Yes, the QUOKKA is our new marsupial, our new kangaroo that we got in the game. I think also the smallest kangaroo species worldwide. I'm not too familiar with my kangaroos, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks fairly small to me, so I go with the smallest kangaroo species, which is kind of the theme of the whole DLC, with also the smallest penguin species. We have a small bird, and we have the Tasmanian devil, one of the also very small marsupial, and also I think the smallest carnivore in the whole Oceania region. And yeah, we are building, as you already probably have seen from the intro, a walkthrough exhibit for the QUOKKA. They are one of 2 walkthrough animals that we get in the DLC. The other one is the kiwi, but I don't really understand the reasoning behind the kiwi being a walkthrough species, because they are very shy. But we will talk about the kiwi more when we make a video and a build for them. Today we are talking about the QUOKKA, exactly. And at the moment I'm building, after I built all the exterior fences, I'm now building these walls here with wood attached to them to kind of block off the backstage area, or a part of the backstage area, from the guest path or the area that the guests can see and interact with. And we are building these walls here that will all later be planted with some greenery to make them look more lovely. Because I did some little bit of research, only the a small amount of research on QUOKKAs, and because QUOKKA exhibits, and because they're very rare. I think the only non-Australian zoo or non-Eastern world zoo that has QUOKKAs is the Wilhelmina in Germany. They have QUOKKAs now since this years. But yeah, I was reading about QUOKKAs, and I learned that you can have a walkthrough exhibit with QUOKKAs in the real world, but they are still shy. There was, I think, a study that also showed some floor plans or exhibit plans for a QUOKKA walkthrough exhibit, and it also had this kind of fenced off section in this exhibit where the QUOKKAs can go to, but the guests can't. So if there is any pressure, any stress applied on the QUOKKAs, they can get away, have a little bit of me time, basically a bit of a freedom and peace away from the guests. And if they want to interact with the guests, they can do that. You always have to remember, while the QUOKKAs are very popular on the internet because of all the QUOKKAs on Rottnest Island, that they are still a wild animal, and that the ones on Rottnest Island are very used to humans because of all the people there, of all the people coming every day. But in zoos, they are most likely still need a bit of free space. They can't get away like on Rottnest Island, where the whole island is a QUOKKA habitat. They have a confined space, so they need some area where they can go to get away from the guests. Right now we are building the guest barriers, basically, to keep the guests on the path, and you see me putting in some gaps in this path. This is to allow for the QUOKKAs to travel through the different areas onto the path in a way. Of course, not for the guests to go away from the path, but simply for the QUOKKAs to escape or get to different areas. We will also, in some places, I will delete the nets in the fence itself to create some openings, and some of them, they can even be used by the in-game QUOKKA. Their hitbox is small enough, which is very happy. I'm very happy about that. Their hitbox is that small so they can fit through that if the circumstances are right. But I still have some more openings also for the keepers, of course, to get away. And yeah, a little bit of a fun fact why we are building now the entrance gate with these tiki statues here and some more driftwood. The most famous, as you probably already know, the most famous island or area in Australia for quokkas is Rottnest Island, I think on the southeast coast of Australia. I'm not too sure with my Australian geography, but yeah, the name Rottnest Island, which kind of is also, if you see the word itself, of course, comes from rat's nest, so the nest of a rat. And the story behind it is very funny. If you already know that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But when the Dutch travelers and Dutch discoverers landed on that island, I don't know, I think in the 1800 or something like that, they found the quokka, which was already living there, and the captain of that ship, or the big man of that ship, saw these quokkas and thought they are big rats. So very big rats that are not common in Europe, because he hadn't seen a kangaroo yet, or he didn't know what if there was a kangaroo or not, and so he named the island Rat's Nest Island, which of course in Dutch is Rottnest Island, and that's why it has this name, this little bit weird name. Of course, we nowadays know they aren't rats or anyway related to mice and rats and stuff like that. They are marsupials, they are kangaroos, they are just very, very tiny, and they are very, very happy, which is of course because of their unique mouth physiology, teeth physiology. They have this smiling face. It's not because they are happy, it's because this is how their bones or their mouth is built. So a lot of fun facts today. Why we are building these entrance gates. Of course, it is important for a walkthrough. You have some entrance gates to get in and out of the area without the animals getting in and out of the area. So we are building these entrance gates that can be opened and closed from both sides. And yeah, having these door openers, handles, stick a bit out, so that if an animal pushes from the inside, the handle blocks basically the door, and so they can't get them out, can't get them open. And now, sorry, I have to, my nose is a bit running because of some allergies. But yeah, we are now focusing on the backstage area, nothing in here. And when you download this area, you can of course make your own backstage area for the quokkas, put some stuff in what you need. And yeah, I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, my goodness, where is my hat? Of course, as with the little penguin last time, this map or this exhibit will be available to download for you guys from the workshop after this video goes live. The link will be, as last time, in the video description, so look there, and then you can get to my Steam page, sorry, to find the download link, and then you can have this exhibit for yourself in your zoo. I kind of try to make all of the exhibits having a similar theme or a similar vibe to it. So if you're building, for example, an Oceania area or an islands area, you can put all of these together in that area, and they will not look too different from each other. So that is why I'm going with a similar look. For this one, I'm also going for a more modern architecture. We have a green roof again this time, like last time, to do a bit of it for the environment. And we finally, I don't know when I used these green roofs from the, I think, aquatic pack it was last time. Has been quite a while. And of course, we also need some vents from the conservation pack. I'm not the best or biggest expert on how vents should work, or where they should be and where they not should be. So you of course can change that if you want to if you have more insight into that. I still have to kind of read a bit of stuff about it, how vents work. But yeah, we are also building, of course, a keeper door, and then we're building an access door for the quokka itself, and that I will close. But when you are building, or when you are using this exhibit, you can of course open the door. It's just a metal plate in there that you can move up or so, and the quokka with its hitbox should be able to use that door and to get into indoor areas. So if you are, for example, building in a colder environment, or something like that, you can have an indoor area for the quokka. As far as I know, you can keep quokkas in, together in area. You don't need different stores or stables for male or female quokkas or for different quokkas. They are very social animals. They like to live in groups, so you can of course keep them inside, in one group basically. And to give a bit of a foresight or a bit of information about the next weeks, why we are building now the planters with some of the lovely Australian rock, which I should use more often. I still don't do it because of the color, which is very distinguished, very one of a kind. I still don't use it often, but yeah, we'll give a bit of foresight or a bit of information for the next weeks. Next week we will build for the kiwi, and to already give you an idea, we were building of course a night house for the kiwi, because they are nocturnal animals and you shouldn't keep kiwis in the daylight, but I will talk about more about that next week. And then, as you could probably guess from if you're looking at the animals list, the week after that, so after the kiwi, will be the Tasmanian devil, where I still need some inspiration for it and where I still need some ideas. But yeah, exactly. Now we are building some small huts for the quokka, some small day huts where they can get a bit of shelter in the bad weather or when it's too hot. And these are inspired by, I'm sorry I didn't remember the name, a Japanese zoo that also has quokkas. I don't know if they are multiple or if there's only one. If you know the Japanese zoo I'm talking about, leave the name in the comments, because I forgot. But when I was searching for quokka exhibit ideas on Google, I stumbled upon 2 pictures of the zoo, and they also had these little huts there, where the quokkas in game can actually kind of go into. So if when you place them there, they can stand under the wood, but they probably will. I don't know if they can sleep there, but they can get into that area. And lastly, of course, we need a place where we can feed the quokkas. And there I used my wallaby feeder from Isle of the Wild, where I have been building an area for the redneck wallaby, I think it was the name. And this feeder I just themed a bit more with a thatch roof over there instead of the tiled roof that it had before, and so it fits more in with the more islandish theme and stuff like that, because of course we want to use as much of the new building pieces, the new scenery pieces as we can have. And now we will focus a little bit on planting, on rocks, on foliage, to make the whole thing look a bit more nicer. I went for more outback theme, a more dry area theme, but with some forest on the sides where the quokkas can get some shade and can also hide from the guests or from each other if they need to. But in general, the plant is, unlike the last one with the penguins, which was more tropical, this one is a bit more themed towards the outback, the desert, the grasslands of Australia, where these animals come from. Of course, Rottnest Island also being a quite dry island from what I have seen. They have some forests there, but in general, it's like most of Australia, or like the main area of Australia, very deserty, grasslandy. So that is what the vibe is going for. And I will now leave you with the rest of the speed build with some nice music from the wonderful creators of Planet Zoo. And then I see you in the end of the video with our tour through the finished product, to the finished build, and some final words to everything. So enjoy the music, and I see you at the end of the video. Alright, you guys know the drill already. We are, of course, standing in front of the QUOKKA Ranch, is what I called it now. Our QUOKKA exhibit, yeah, from the Oceania Pack. We have some lovely statues of the QUOKKA left and right of the path. We can also, of course, go outside or on the outside if you don't want to go inside the area, because maybe you're afraid a little bit of the animals in general, and you want to still see them, but you can still see them from the outside. There they are. Very, very cute and very, very lovely, hopping around. Sometimes, yeah, they can hop, mostly they walk on all fours. Hello. And they are super cute. I'm really happy to got them in the game. There's some sleeping here, some are just sitting enjoying the sun. But we, of course, are not afraid of the animals. We want to enter this place, so we go through either one of the doors. I don't think it doesn't really matter. And we are inside having this lovely, maybe I can get some more sun in here. We will see. A little bit. Of course, we have the big trees that give some shade. But yeah, we have some sun here and there. And then we have this little walk around, no real direction where you have to go. You can just go and see a QUOKKA coming by. Hello. As I said, they can fit through these different small gates over here. Go through them. As you see there, just went through. And then they have all these little places. Well, not quite. They have some bushes here and there where they can hide. They have some logs where they can go through and have a great time. And yeah, it's a small little place for your small little QUOKKA. Fishing is one of the smallest animals in game, among other meerkats and skunks and everything. Very small and very cute animal. Hello. The eating place over here, and then we have this backstage area where I needed to add a water dish, which I forgot, sadly, in the speed build to add one. I don't know why, and I also have to fix that before I release this. So when you're watching this, this will be fixed over here. But yeah, I forgot to add a water dish, so I added this quickly. But of course, you can go with the normal ones as well. So these water bowls, for example, you can also use that if you don't like the water dish. And yeah, the backstage area, as I said, nothing in here, so you can build your own version or your own your own backstage area over here, if you want to, or you just plop that down, hide a keeper hut in there, and call it a day. Then we see a cute little animation. We'll see, or they are just sitting on. There's something. A little bit funky. Yeah, the QUOKKA's a little bit funky, I think, due to its size. But yeah, we should stick on the path, of course, because we don't want to disturb the QUOKKAs. There's one. They can go to all places. They can go in here. They can go there. Of course, there and there. They can go in here. The keeper also can, put food into here, so the QUOKKAs can be fed. There is another plate, I think, somewhere over here. If I didn't delete it, I think. Oh no, it's here. Here's another plate. Yeah, another food plate over here. No food enrichment per se, only these food plates. But of course, if you are downloading the habitat and have it for yourself, you can put food enrichment down if you want to use it. But yeah, that is basically it for this little QUOKKA habitat. As I said, a very simple habitat, nothing much to it. A small walkthrough for the lovable, adorable little QUOKKA. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, maybe consider giving a like to show that you enjoyed my content, that you want to see more of it in the future. And maybe also consider subscribing to the channel if you're already there in that area with the like button. It will really help me out and show me that you are a fan of what I'm doing. And then I say I see you in the next video next week, and until then, have a great time, stay safe, and goodbye everyone.